Hello my students, how are you? Prep 2. Today we'll explain lesson number 2, relations of function. Like this, if we have the order E and B belonging to R, E belonging to X and B belonging to Y, we call this the relation between E and B. The relation R form like this, R and write equal to and write brackets inside these brackets or this groups out of order like A and B. The relation can be expressed by an diagram or Cartesian diagram. We can draw the relation between together like diagram or Cartesian diagram. Like this. First question. Look at with me. We have relation between X and Y. The relation tell me A less than B. Like this. 2 less than 4. 2 less than 7. Right in the order. And also 5 less than 7. The solution here, relation between X and Y, A less than B. Then we can draw our diagram like this. First, set X and second Y, going from 2 to 4 and 2 and 7, 5 with 7. And also Cartesian diagram, we can draw like this, vertical, X down and Y up here, because we want to find the relation between X and Y. A belonging to X and B belonging to Y. Then A is the first, like this, and Y will be second. And then put the point. This is the Cartesian diagram, and the second we called it arrow diagram. This relation between two sets X and Y, okay? Next question. Now we will solve this. If X equals set of 1, 2, 3, and Y equal 3, 4, 5, 6, and the relation between X and Y, where A relation with B means A plus B equals 6. Then we can find the relation here, right? Set of A plus B equals 6, like this. 1 plus what? 1 plus 5 equals 6, raised 1 and 5. And then 2 plus 4. And the third, 3 plus what? 3 plus 3. This is the order about relation between X and Y. State relation R represented on our diagram. We can represent this like first set X and second set Y, like this. X and Y. Right here is the elements of set of X equal 1, 2, 3. And the elements in Y, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I will draw the arrow diagram. Draw the line or the ray joining from the first to second, 1 to 5. The one image of 1 was 5, and the image of 2 was 4, because 2 plus 4 is 6, and 3 plus 3. Okay, we called it arrow diagram. Next question down here, number 2. If X equals of 0, 1, 2, 3, and Y 0 to 6, and the relation between X and Y from XY relation means E equal half of B. Okay, we can find first the relation between together. The first, look at here, 0, half of 0, right? 0. We can write 0, half of 0, okay? If you put here 0, then half of 0, half product by 0 equals 0. And 0 is 0, and then 1, half of what? 1 half of 2. 1 and 2. And then 2 half of what? 2 half of 4, right? 2 and 4, okay? And next, you can write the digits here 3, half of 6. In the relation between together, we want to draw arrow diagram, represent by arrow diagram and ortho Cartesian diagram. Arrow diagram like this, we can draw the vertical like this, X and second Y. Write all elements in X here, 0, 1, 2, 3, and here 0, first 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can draw now from 0 to 0. The image here 0 is 0, and the image 1 half of 2, and 2 half of 4, and 3 half of 6. And then now I will draw Cartesian diagram, draw vertical and horizontal like this, vertical, and cut of them is this part, right first here x and second y. The elements of x start, right element of x down, x here 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, and elements of y 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now in the vertical I will put a point. Point here refers to the image 0 with 0, and 1 with 2 with the point here. 2, the image of 2 with 4, the image of 3 equals 6. Okay, now we finished this question. Next question. Now we will explain the domain and codomain. We have the difference between domain and codomain. Domain, we call it x. X is a domain. Okay, and codomain, the image of the y. All the answer in y. And we called it like this. Relation from x to y, we say is the function. If we have each element in x and one image in y, we call it the function. Okay, and the range, we can find the range image which contains in y. Okay, is the relation between x and y, we called it function. Then we have image, the image in y, we called it the, okay, we called it what? The range. I will explain it now, okay? Look at this example here. We have x and y and the relation between together a plus b equal 5. Look at here, 0 plus 5, 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2. Then each element here has one image. Then the relation, we called it the function. This relation, we called it function. Why? Because each element in x has one image in y. Then R represents the function from x to y because each element of x is connected with only one element of y. Then the range will be the image. The range 2, 3, 4, 5. We called it the range of the function. Then the range here will be 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and x here we called it the domain and codomain y. Then we have domain and codomain and the range. The domain here, x is the domain. And y, we called it the domain here, codomain y. Domain, codomain. And the range here, we called it the image. The image here, we called it the range. Okay, understood? Next question down. Look at this question. We won't solve this question down here. If x equal 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 0, half, and third, and our relation on x, we have relation, okay, this relation between x in x and x also. We have the image from x to x. Then x here we called it domain, the domain x, and codomain also inside x. The relation between together, tell me here in the example. Look at here, the relation with b, right, are represented by the arithmetic, and this relation, it's meaning what? A is the multiplicative inverse of b. Okay, multiplicative inverse. Do you know multiplicative inverse? Like this, right? The reciprocal about this number, but 0, we haven't reciprocal about 0 because a number divided by 0 undefined. So the image here will be 3 will be third, 2 will be half, 1 is 1, but 0, we haven't image of 0 because a number divided by 0 undefined. He asked about multiplicative inverse. So in this example, not function. Why? Because 0 hasn't any image in x. Okay. So first, I will raise a function here about the relation between two sets. The first, we can choose 3 and third because he tell me the rule here. Look at here, a is multiplicative inverse of b. Then 3 is the multiplicative inverse of third, and 2 is the multiplicative inverse of half, and also 1 multiplicative inverse of the same. And then you can write reciprocal also third. Reciprocal of it equal 3, and the reciprocal about 2 or half equal 2. Okay, this function? No, not function. Not function, okay? Then he wants to represent it by arithmetic. We can represent this relation by arithmetic, draw vertical, or he wants it. We have one set here, x, okay? Then we can raise the element inside it, 3, 2, third, half, and 0. In the image of 3, was third, and also the image of third is 3. Okay, again we have here 3 and third. The image of 3 is third, and the image of third is 3. The image of 2 is half, the image of half is 2, and 0 we have in the image of 0. Then this not function. We draw aerogram and the mention giving reasons if our function not function, right here not function. Why? Because where 0? Because 0 belonging to x hasn't any image in the relation. Hasn't image in R. Okay, 0 not function because the x or 0 belonging to x hasn't any image in R. So the relation here must be function if each element in x has one image in y or in the same or the next function. About this, we have x and also x. Look at 0. 0 hasn't any image. This is not function. This is a relation here, not function. Why? Because 0 hasn't any image in the relation. Next question down here. Look at with me. Down. If x equal 1, 2, 3, and y equal 1, 4, 6, and 9, the relation between together e equals square root of b. Then we can find the relation here. 1, square root of 1 equal 1. And here, square root of 4 equal 2. 2 here. And square root of 9 is 3 here. Then we have 3 image of each element of x. This relation we call this the function. Yes, because each element which belonging to x has one image in the relation. Okay, has one image relation here. Or appear one time only in the relation. Then we can draw this. Here we want to represent it arrow diagram first and then mention. We can draw here first set x and second set here y. Write the element of x 1, 2, 3 and the image here 1, 4, 9 and also we have 6. Okay. We can draw the ray for image here 1. The original point from 1 to 1, 2 with 4 and also 3 with 9. Then here R is a function. The relation is a function because each element in X has only one image in R. Each element in X has only one image in the R, the relation. Okay. Now we will explain new rule here about symbolic represent the functions. The symbolic like this: if from X to Y we have here domain and codomain, and the range give me the image in the Y. Like this rule: if such that X to X power 2 we have the function. The image here about like 3, with 3 here, 3 power 2 equal 9. We can remark about this example here. If f of x equal x power 2 called the rule is a function. We call this the rule. And it's used to find the image of any element of the domain by the function domain here and codomain the image was answered with the rule. X is called domain, okay, and Y called codomain. And the set of the image of the element of the X by the function f is called the range. The image we call this the range of the function f, which is a subset of the codomain. Then the range also time subset from codomain. Okay, the range subset from the codomain. Okay, look at with me first question here. If f of x equal x power 2 subtract 2x plus 5, find f of 1. Put here x equal 1, 1 power 2 subtract 2 times 1 plus 5 equal 1 minus 2 plus 5 equal 4. And also f of 0, put x equal 0, 0 power 2 subtract 2 times 0 plus 5 equal 5. And also f of negative 2, put the value of x here equal negative 2 to find the answer. like this. We have f of half power 2 subtracted by 2 power half, 2 times half plus 5 equal 4 plus 1 plus 5 equal 4 and 4. And last one here, function of root 5 power 2. Put here is the function root 5. Okay, root 5 power 2 subtract 2 times root 5 plus 5. In the answer in the simplest, it will be 10 subtracted by 2 root 5. It's the simplest form of this function. Down here, next question, if f of x equal to x plus b and g of x equal x power 2 plus b, and f of 2 plus g of negative 4 equals 30, then find of f of negative 2 subtract f of 2. First step, we have this relation. In this example, look at here, he gives me the example f of 2 plus g of negative 4 equals 30. You can start to solve by this relation between two numbers like this, like 2. Put here the value of x equal to 2 times 2 equal 4, 4 plus b. And here put the value of x equal negative 4 in this function, negative 4 power 2 plus b. Then we have 16 plus b and here also 4 plus b. Then you can find the result about first and second in this relation. Put the answer here in this relation, okay? Like this. Okay, like this here. Then start 4 plus b, the answer first, like this. We have 4 plus b, put here 4 plus b, and g of negative 4 equals 16 plus b, put here 16 plus b. Then we can eat b plus b equal 2b, and 16 plus 4 is 20. Solve the equation, move 20 here, 30 minus 20 equal 10, and then divide it by 2, then the answer will be 5. And then in the example, he wants also find f of negative 2 and subtract by g of 2. Then the first put the value of b equal 5. Put here the value of b equal 5. Okay, and the value here also 5. Okay, then we have two functions. We can find here f of x and g of x. Now he won't find f of negative 2 equal. We can put the value here in this example 2 reduced by negative 2. Put the value of x equal negative 2 plus 5. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 5 is 1. And also we can find g of second function here. G of what? G of negative 4. Put here the example, negative 4 power 2. No, he wants g of t, okay? G of t. We won't find g of t here. Put g of t. What's the function here? 2 power 2 plus 5. 2 power 2, 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. Then we have two solutions, 1 plus 9. Then the image here, 1 minus 9 equal negative 8. Then the answer here, negative 8. Look at the answer. About the steps here will be negative 8. Okay. Now I will solve next question down with you. Okay. We have f of x equal x power 2 subtract by 3 and g of x equal x minus 3. We won't find f of root 2, so 8 to 3 product by g of root 2 and prove that f of 3 equal g of 3 equals 0. Okay, first step here, we can find the value of this function f of root 2. Put the value of x here equal root 2 first in this power 2 subtract by 3 product by root 2. Root 2 power 2 equal 2 subtract by 3 times root 2. And now I will find g of root 2. G of root 2. Put here the value equal root 2. Then we have root 2 minus 3. Then f of root 2 plus 3 product by g of root 2. F of root 2 equal what? 2 subtract by 3 root 2 plus 3 product. Look at here, 3 product is the value of g of root 2. We found the value here equal root 2 minus 3. Root 2 minus 3. Okay. Look at here. We will distribute, right? 2 subtract by 3 root 2. 3 times root 2 equals 3 root 2. And 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. We can sample this together. Then 2 minus 9 is negative 7. Okay, negative 7. It's the first solution. Second solution, he wants to prove that f of 3 equals g of 3. First, I will find f of 3. Here, put in this function here, put the value of x equal 3. Then 3 power 2 subtract 3 times 3. 3 power 2, subtract 3 by 3, then we have 9 minus 9 equals 0. And if, second function here, g of 3. G of 3, what's the value of x here equals 3? This function, 3 minus 3 equals 0. Then f of 3 equal g of 3 equal to 0. Okay, we simplify this example here and find our proof that f of 3, look at here again, f of 3 equals 3 power 2 minus 3 times 3 is the answer will be 0, and here g of 3 equals 0, then two functions are equivalent here. Okay, students, listen to me about this example here. You want proof that in this example f of 1 plus root 6 equal f of 1 subtract by root 6. First, I will put here the function. Okay, with the value of x equal 1 plus root 6. Look at here, this function here. We can put the value of x equal 1 plus root 6. 1 plus root 6 whole power 2 subtract by 2 product by the value of x here equal 1 plus root 6. Subtract by 5. We can simplify it. Look at here, first power 2 and second root 6 power 2 is 6, and the middle first and second times 2 equal 2 times root 6. Subtract by 2 times 1 equal 2, negative 2 times root 6 equal negative 2 root 6 minus 5. We can simplify, cancel together here. We have the additive inverse about root 2 root 6. And also 1 minus 2 minus 5. 1 minus 2, negative 1. Negative 1 minus 5 is negative 6. And then the answer here, he won't find the answer. Okay, again, we have this number 6, 1, and we have here negative 2 and negative 2 root 6 and negative 5. 1 plus negative 2, negative 1, negative 1 minus 5. Okay, we have 6 also. Yes, 6 also. Again, 1 plus 6, 7, 7 minus 2, 5, 5 minus 5 equal 0. And then f of is the function 1 subtract by root 6. What's the value of x here in this expression? Equal 1 minus root 6 here in this function. Okay, again, 1 minus root 6 power 2, first power 2 and second power 2. But this example, look at here, we have this function again. This function, I put the value of x equal 1 minus root 6. Put with me 1 minus root 6 whole power 2 subtract by 2 product by the value of x. Put here the value of x equal 1 minus root 6. Okay, minus 5. First step, first power 2 and second power 2, and the middle 2 times 1 times root 6, it will be negative 2 root 6. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2, negative times negative positive, 2 times root 6 equal root 6 minus 5. Now we will simplify it. Negative 2 root 6 by positive, and 1 plus 6, 7, 7 minus 2, 5, 5 minus 5 is 0. Next question here. He asked this example, if the set of the function is right, the domain of x. The domain is the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the domain. In the domain equal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the range here, second, because this function 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. We called it the range of the functions. In the rule here, he tell me 1 plus 2, 3, 2 plus 3, 5. This is the function of x, f of x equal x plus 3. Because all the time he add what, 3 or not? Look at here. No, not is plus 3 because he's the inverse. 1, we can write x times 2, 2x plus 1. 2 times 2, 4, 4 plus 1, 5. 2 times 3, 6 plus 1 equals 7. Look at here. 2 times 4 equal 8 plus 1 equal 9. 2 times 5 equal 10, 10 plus 1 equal 11. Since the rule here is the function equal 2x plus 1. Okay, understood? The question here, he won't find the degree of the function. It will be px plus 5. Then it will be the first degree. The function here will be the first degree. Find the value of b if f of 3 equal 11. F of 3 was 11. Put this function here, 11. Then we have, put the value of x equal 3. Then 3b, put here 3. 3b plus 5 is equal 11. move 5 here, then 3b equal 11 minus 5 equals 6. We can divide it by 3. The value of b equal 2. The value of b here equal to this function, okay?